What if one day you woke up, went to the beach, and instead of the usual waves of salty blue water, you saw a massive, fizzing, caramel-colored sea of Coca-Cola? Bubbles popping, the scent of sugar and caffeine in the air, and seagulls looking extremely confused. That's right. What if all the oceans on Earth suddenly turned into Coke? Let's start with the basics. Earth has about 1.35 billion cubic kilometers of water in the oceans. That's an unfathomable amount of H2O. Now imagine replacing all of it with the most popular soda on Earth. That's 1.35 billion cubic kilometers of Coca-Cola, enough to give every human on Earth nearly 170 million liters of Coke each. At first, it might seem like a sweet dream. Free Coca-Cola everywhere. Take a swim, open your mouth, boom. Infinite soda. But it turns out this dream quickly turns into an extremely sticky, deadly nightmare. First problem, Coke is acidic. Its pH is around 2.5, more acidic than lemon juice. If you took a dip in a Coke ocean, your eyes would burn instantly, your skin would get irritated, and let's just say fish wouldn't be thrilled either. In fact, most marine life would die almost immediately. Corals, fish, whales, all gone. The acidity, the sugar, the lack of oxygen, none of them are ocean compatible. And about that fizz, all that carbonation, the carbon dioxide dissolved in the liquid, would begin escaping like crazy once the Coke gets agitated by waves, storms, or temperature changes. So you'd have giant ocean-wide bursts of CO2 bubbling up, possibly causing localized suffocation events. Not great for beachgoers, or anything with lungs, really. And if you're thinking, okay, but at least it'll smell nice? Nope, not for long. See, Coca-Cola isn't stable. Once it's out of the bottle, it goes flat in a few days, and then it starts to rot. That sugary liquid becomes a paradise for bacteria and microbes. The oceans would quickly become a warm, decaying, toxic soup of flat soda and microbial sludge. A few weeks later, everything smells like hot garbage and sour syrup. The beaches become places no one wants to be, unless you're a sugar-loving microbe. Also, no more water cycle. Rain, rivers, weather. All of it is driven by evaporation from the oceans. But Coke doesn't evaporate like water. Its sugar and chemicals don't go up into the sky. So after the oceans turn to Coke, clouds stop forming, rain stops falling, and within weeks the entire planet begins to dry out. No water means no crops, no drinking water, and very soon, no civilization. And don't forget, Coke is sticky. Ever spilled some on your table and left it for a few hours? Now imagine that, but it's the entire surface of the planet. The air over the oceans would get dense with evaporating syrupy particles, coating everything with a layer of sugar glue. Planes flying over the sea would get coated. Ships would literally stick in place. Saltwater corrosion? Child's play compared to caramelized chaos. But here's the wild part. If we assume the Coca-Cola was perfectly bottled and still pressurized somehow, the pressure from billions of kilometers of soda fizz would build up so high it might cause ocean-wide eruptions of foam, gas, and sticky geysers. Like opening the world's largest shaken bottle and standing directly on top of it. And the marine food chain? Gone. The plankton die, the fish die, the whales die, and the humans. Well, first we'd face mass droughts, then famine, then global collapse. But hey, at least you'd have enough Coke to last until the end of time, or at least until your kidneys shut down from sugar overdose. Now let's say we're somehow prepared. We invent sugar filters, massive desalination systems, and we live off Coke. Can you actually survive drinking only Coca-Cola? The short answer, no. The long answer, no. You'd get severe dehydration, diabetes, and a massive caffeine crash, followed by death. Coke contains water, yes, but it also contains phosphoric acid, caffeine, and sugar, which, when consumed in oceanic quantities, is very bad news. And remember, ocean currents help regulate Earth's temperature. Without them, say hello to extreme climate change. Tropics would roast, the poles would freeze, weather patterns would become chaos. We'd be dealing with a sticky version of the apocalypse. So next time you're sipping a cold Coke, Be thankful that it's not your entire ocean. Earth's water is weird, complex, and essential, and turning it into soda is possibly one of the worst things that could happen, unless you're a sugar-loving bacterium. In that case, congratulations. It's your time to shine.